Today, if you get sick, you go to a clean hospital and receive science-based, highly effective medicine. But for most of human history, visiting a doctor was basically an extremely dangerous game of roulette. You think modern healthcare is painful? Wait until you see what our ancestors had to endure. Welcome to the golden age of medicine, where the cure was usually much worse than the actual disease.
Today, we are exploring the 5 most absurd, terrifying, and completely ridiculous medical treatments in human history.
Grab your safety goggles, folks. This historical journey is going to get weirdly fascinating and highly uncomfortable. For 2,000 years, doctors believed your body was controlled by 4 magical liquids called humors. If you had a fever, a headache, or even a mild cough, the diagnosis was always exactly the same. You simply had too much blood. And the logical solution? We need to aggressively drain it out of you. Doctors would apply dozens of hungry leeches to your body, letting them feast until you passed out. If they didn't have leeches, your local barber would happily cut you open with unwashed tools. By removing massive amounts of blood, patients felt much weaker, which doctors proudly declared was deep relaxation. Even George Washington fell victim to this. When he had a sore throat, doctors drained half his blood. Unsurprisingly, losing half your blood doesn't cure a throat infection. It just cures you of being alive.
Let's move on to terrible headaches. Throughout history, people suffered from migraines, seizures, and mental illness.
The brilliant medical minds of the past figured out the exact cause. Evil spirits were trapped inside your skull. And how do you let a trapped demon out? You simply drill a...
This extremely terrifying procedure is called trepanation. And yes, it was performed completely without modern anesthesia.
Shockingly, archaeological evidence shows that many patients actually survived this brutal amateur carpentry experiment. Doctors would often keep the removed piece of skull and wear it as a magical protective charm.
Next time you complain about swallowing a bitter aspirin for a headache, just remember, it could be much worse.
You could be paying a guy to use construction tools on your forehead. Science is truly a blessing.
Let's travel to ancient China. Emperor Qin Shi Huang was incredibly powerful, but terrified of dying. His royal doctors offered him a magical elixir of eternal life. A beautiful, glowing, shiny silver liquid.
That magical liquid was pure, highly toxic liquid mercury. The absolute worst thing you could possibly drink.
The emperor drank it daily to become immortal. Ironically, the immortality potion aggressively killed him at age 49.
But European doctors didn't learn the lesson. For centuries, they believed mercury could miraculously cure skin diseases. Patients were aggressively rubbed with heavy metal. Their teeth literally fell out, and their organs completely shut down. The brilliant doctors noticed the horrible side effects, but proudly assumed it meant the medicine was working perfectly. It took hundreds of years for humanity to realize that swallowing liquid metal is a terrible lifestyle choice.
Welcome to the Victorian era. Society was obsessed with extreme thinness, and people desperately wanted effortless weight loss.
Shady salesmen invented the ultimate terrifying. The secret ingredient? The pills contained actual, live tapeworm eggs. The idea was simple. The parasite hatches in your stomach and enthusiastically eats half of your dinner for you. You lose weight rapidly, but unfortunately, you also host a 30-foot-long hungry monster swimming inside your digestive system.
Getting the worm out was a nightmare. Doctors actually tried luring it out of the mouth with a glass of milk.
Or worse, they used a metal cylinder that frequently caused severe choking and fatal digestive blockages.
Suddenly, spending an hour sweating at the gym doesn't sound so bad compared to swallowing a parasite egg.
Finally, let's visit ancient Egypt, a society known for brilliant architecture, math, and horribly unsanitary medicine.
If you got a deep cut, infection was a death sentence. But the doctors had a magical, natural ointment ready.
They genuinely believed that the horrible smell of animal feces would magically scare away the evil spirits causing the pain. No way. In reality, packing a fresh, bleeding cut with highly infectious animal waste is the fastest way to get tetanus.
Countless people died from massive bacterial infections, while the doctors proudly patted themselves on the back for a job well done.
The only winners in this bizarre medical scenario were the crocodiles of the Nile River, who became respected medical suppliers.
Be incredibly thankful for modern antibiotics and sterile, perfectly clean plastic Band-Aids. So, there you have it. A long journey through some of the most unusual medical ideas ever conceived by humanity. History proves that good intentions, combined with zero scientific knowledge, create spectacular and deadly disasters. The next time you visit a hospital and complain about the waiting room, remember the hungry leeches and power drills.
If you survived this historical nightmare, hit that like button and subscribe for more bizarre and fascinating animated history.